12 years. That's how long I'd loved her. We were sitting in the same corner booth at Aubriel's, the Italian place where we'd gone on our second date. I had the waiter bring out her favorite wine before the menus even hit the table. I'd taken the day off work, made reservations a month in advance, even had a necklace in my coat pocket I'd been saving for months. Rebecca looked beautiful. Of course, she always did. Hair swept to the side, that soft lipstick she wore only on special occasions, the one that made her lips look like something out of a dream. She smiled when the wine came. I smiled back. I thought this night was going to remind her why she married me. But then she said the words, "James," she began, running a finger slowly around the rim of her glass. "I need you to hear this without freaking out." That's when the air changed. You ever feel a moment shift before your brain catches up? That sudden stillness before something falls? "He's in town," she said softly. "Ethan Black." I blinked. "The actor? The guy from those courtroom dramas she used to binge in college?" I thought she was joking. I even chuckled. She didn't. I ran into him backstage at the alumni fundraiser last week. We talked. He remembered me. Silence. I told him about you. About us. I told him we were solid. She smiled faintly. But I also told him he was my college crush. And he invited me to catch up tonight. I stared at her. She took a sip of wine like she'd just mentioned going to a yoga class. "I'm going," she said. "It's just one night. A dream closure. You know I love you, James, but this is something I need to do for me." The world didn't explode. It shrunk into the sound of a fork falling from my hand and clattering against the plate. She stood up, smoothed her dress, checked her phone. "I'll call you tomorrow. Don't wait up." Then she kissed me on the forehead, like I was a child, or worse, like I was something she was done with. And just like that, she walked out of the restaurant and into someone else's arms. I sat there in that booth for 10 full minutes. The waiter came by twice. I didn't move. My hands were still resting on the table, the necklace still in my coat, the wine still half full. People whispered. One woman shot me a sympathetic glance. I heard a man laugh and say, "Yikes, rough night." I felt nothing. That was the strange part. No rage, no heartbreak, not yet. Just silence. But somewhere in that silence, I felt something detach, something deep, hidden, and strong. She had no idea what she'd just set in motion. I didn't go home right away. I sat in my car outside the restaurant, engine off, headlights dim, just staring at nothing. The city kept moving, couples laughing on sidewalks, a man delivering pizza across the street, music from a nearby bar spilling into the cold night air. Life didn't pause for me. It never does. When I finally turned the key and drove home, it wasn't rage behind the wheel. It was clarity. The house greeted me like it always had. Porch light on, the faint scent of vanilla from the candles she always lit in the entryway. Her heels were still by the door, her jacket still hanging on the hook. It all looked so normal, like she was just running errands and would be back before dinner. But she wasn't coming back tonight, and I wasn't staying. I walked into the bedroom and stared at the dresser. Half of it was mine. Half of it would stay that way until it wasn't. I didn't shout. I didn't cry. I didn't break a single thing. Instead, I opened the closet and began packing. 3 suitcases, my camera gear, my documents, the few things that were truly mine. I moved like a surgeon, clean, deliberate, efficient. Next came the digital erasure, password changes, 2-factor removal, deleting shared folders, cloud drives, shared calendars, all our little marital connections snipped with surgical precision. I transferred funds from our joint account, only my legally entitled share. I wasn't going to stoop to her level, but I wasn't going to leave myself stranded either. By 2 a.m., I'd send a short message to my old mentor, Harrison. "Is that Denver offer still open?" He replied 10 minutes later, "You always had a place here. can build something real. I booked a one-way ticket for the next evening. Direct to Denver. I didn't leave a note. I didn't make a scene. I took what was mine quietly and closed the door behind me. The sun was just rising when I drove to the storage unit I'd reserved 2 hours earlier. I loaded it up and left instructions with the manager to forward anything that arrived with my name. Then I turned off my phone. For good. It was strange. Really, the peace I felt. She thought she'd stun me into silence. What she didn't realize was that silence wasn't surrender. It was strategy. And I was already gone. Rebecca returned 2 days later wearing sunglasses and the same dress from the night she left. She expected drama, tears, a wounded husband, pacing in the living room, asking questions, begging for an explanation. That's how she'd played it out in her head. I imagine a fight, then forgiveness, maybe a few rules moving forward. Instead, she found silence. No car in the driveway, no jacket on the hook, no scent of my cologne in the hallway. The closets were half empty. The drawers, too. My side of the bed was stripped bare. The camera case she always complained about, gone. So were the framed photos from my office, the signed first editions, even the clunky French press I insisted on keeping. She called my name. Once, twice. Nothing. She opened her phone and called me. Straight to voicemail. She texted, "Where are you? James, seriously, what's going on? We need to talk." She tried my mom, my brother, my boss. No one had answers. By the next morning, she was at the police station filing a missing persons report. She told them I was distraught, that we'd had an argument, that I wasn't acting like myself. The officer looked over his glasses and said calmly, "Mom, your husband isn't missing. He left you." She tried to laugh it off. "You don't understand. He's not like that. He's loyal." The officer handed her a copy of the paperwork she'd signed. Divorce proceedings, filed by me, from Denver. A year passed. Then came an envelope. No return address. Inside were finalized divorce papers. Just my signature. No note. No message. No fight. Just silence and absence. Rebecca sat in our old booth at Aubriel's, alone this time. The same wine. The same corner. But this time, no necklace waiting in a coat pocket. No husband across the table. Just her. And the quiet echo of the life she'd set on fire with a smile and a text message. She always thought betrayal ended with screaming, with slammed doors and cruel words. What she never understood is that the real punishment is being forgotten. And I forgot her the second I walked out of that house.